everyone, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about the imposter phenomenon, how we develop it, how it affects our thinking, and how we feel. If you like my content, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Imposter syndrome is not an actual mental health condition, even though it's often called syndrome, as you may have been seeing it all over social media. A syndrome indicates disease or disorder. Imposter phenomenon was studied by Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes in 1978. They found it's the psychological experience of believing that one's achievements came about not through legitimate capability, but instead as a result of being lucky or having manipulated or influenced other people's impressions, meaning you think you have fooled or tricked others into believing you're someone that you're not. It may also look like being a perfectionist. So a lot of it comes down to self-esteem and confidence, thinking negatively of oneself or having an inner critic in spite of being successful and having made achievements. They may feel that they don't deserve their success. People who suffer with this have a hard time celebrating their achievements and taking compliments around their achievements. They tend to think that what they're doing could be done better. They also tend to want to be seen a certain way in other people's eyes. These people also tend to very rarely talk about their inner feelings with other people, keeping their feelings bottled up. Moose and Moose, 1986, had 4 different skills that they used for the study of imposter phenomenon. They found that this type of thinking came from family environment. The first scale is the cohesion scale, which measures the degree of support family members provide one another. The second, the expressiveness scale, which measures the degree of support family members are allowed to be open with their feelings. Third, the conflict scale, which assesses the amount of expressed anger and conflict within the family. And the fourth is the control subscale, which assesses the degree to which rules and procedures are used to govern family behavior. In their study, they found that using these 4 scales proved that people who experienced imposter feelings most likely came from families in which support for the individual was lacking, communications and behaviors were over-controlled by rules, and considerable conflict was present. Luca Bassari, 1990, took this information from the scales and suggested that in families in which support for the child's feelings or individual development was lacking, the child who becomes an imposter may have experienced parentification or in some other way been required to develop a false self or a fake self in order to receive validation, presenting yourself in a way so that others will like you or see you in a way you think they want to see you, not being your authentic self. Langford, 1990, found if there was an importance for imposters to get outside validation, then that false self is likely to carry over into adulthood. Beard, 1990, found patterns of imposters to be defensive and untrusting of others. He found that females tend to withdraw, unlikely to engage in risk-taking, while males tend to have higher impulsivity and strong need for change to prove their competency. What also was found consistent in the research is families in which there is a good deal of underlying conflict without the allowance of expression and without much active support for the child appear to promote these traits. So to sum it up, the child grows up fighting to be seen and to be heard, feeling that they have to prove themselves, being a certain way to be seen and heard. As an adult, being vulnerable to shame, guilt, and unworthiness. That explains why there's a high degree of defensiveness. In relationships, it could look like having thoughts that others are going to find out you're not as great as they think you are and eventually leave you. If you think that fits you, understanding why and where it comes from is the first step to being able to let go of those negative thoughts and critical thinking. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps. I love you all.